Hello and welcome to the October update from Pennyhill Junction. So a lot more progress has been made in the past month, and in this video I'll include work such as the installation of my first point motor, and alongside that the installation of my AC power bus for powering all my point motors. Some changes to my original track plan. A section of the layout has now been updated. Also, I've now made a start on track work for the Old Dean Common storage depot, and I've also had my first attempt at ballasting on the layout. Okay, so the first thing to show you is the point motor, which I've installed recently. So I've only installed the one point motor so far. Some of you may have seen my recent video, which is the first video in a How I Do series, which takes you through how I install the Pico point motor. And you can see, using my toggle switch now, this point is now in operation. Currently it has that buzzing noise, but at some point in the future I'll get a CDU installed to eliminate that buzzing noise. But I'm very pleased that my first attempt at installing a point motor, I had no issues whatsoever, and I'm hoping that my video that I produced will be beneficial to others who are looking to carry out the same type of installation of a Pico turnout motor. So just prior to the installation of the point motor, I had to install an AC power bus, 16 volt AC power bus. You can see which are the brown and blue wires here. As you can see, the point motor is going a little bit closer there. All wired up, connected to the power bus. As you can see, if I just pan across to the left, these wires here are what go to the toggle switch, which I'm currently just using loose until I install a control panel. Now what I'm using to operate the AC power bus is this controller here. So that's my HM2000 dual controller, but I'm using the uncontrolled AC supply at the back here, at the back of this unit. And the next update is a change from my original track plan. So this corner section here, which I've just completed, I'll pop a quick image up on the screen now so you can see how it looked previously. Basically the reason for these changes, particularly these two lines here, so these are my two main lines, I wasn't too keen on the sort of wiggly switch over. I mean, it looked alright on my original track plan, but particularly when the HSTs were switching over from one main line to the other, it just didn't look very realistic at all. So I thought I'd completely change this corner section here. I've actually made the outside main line much more sweeping curve, slightly larger radius. Also installed a curve point here and a much cleaner transition between the two lines. So very pleased with the changes I've made there. I believe it looks a lot better and a lot more realistic. And whilst working on this corner section, I thought I'd take the opportunity to make a start on my storage depot, which is also sort of passenger train maintenance depot for my HSTs and EMU and DMUs, etc. So you'll see this point has been installed originally before I made the changes to the curve. That point taking us into the yard was in this area here, but I brought it right back to here to give a nicer radius of curve for the passenger services coming in and out of the yard. And you'll see now, if we branch left to begin with, this single lane here, you can see detailed here, will have a loco wash, probably the Bachmann loco wash there. If we follow it on down and splits into two lines, and that will eventually become my maintenance shed, all my passenger units. And if we come back and we come off to the right, we now come into the storage lines. Unfortunately, I've run out of flexi track, so this will be the longest storage line, which will come up and then run right along the edge of the baseboard. That should be just about long enough to fit a full 8-car formation HST. But also, as we come further along, you'll see the point work is all in place for the depot, but we just got to get more flexi track in just to complete the full length of the lines there. But yeah, good start. Looks good, and there's plenty of space there to store all my, as I said, all my passenger units. And I've got some diesel engines here, so I've got my class 37, also my MPV. So those two units will be over on the TMD, which at some point will be over there on that far end, but I'm just keeping them stored here for the time being. The class 57 Tintagel Castle will remain in this depot. Of course, that pulls the Night Riviera sleeper service. That'll stay in here as that runs the passenger service. And the last piece of work in this past month that I've done on the layout is my first attempt at ballasting. So very soon I'm going to do another how I do video. When I do this second line, or second long straight, I'll do a video on that so you can see how I do my ballasting and how I use my ballast spreader, etc. But for a first attempt again at ballasting, very pleased with the outcome so far. Just a small section, I've got lots and lots to do, and it's going to take quite some time to do that. But if I come down a little bit more to ground level, don't know if you can make that out, but yeah, it's got a nice shoulder on it. And as these are on the main lines, I'm using a 1/8 of an inch cork, which gives a greater shoulder. But once I start ballasting in the depot, you'll see a much shorter cork there, a much thinner cork. That's the 1/32 of an inch cork. As in the depot area, I'll say the ballast will be spread much more evenly across the lines. Okay, so that's all the work that I've done on the layout this past month. So what I'll do now is I'll just take you through some of this month's purchases, starting here with the Bachmann Scenecraft Wooden Village Hall, product number 44-0006. This was reduced at Hatton's from, I think it was just over £40 down to £27. So I thought I'd cash in on the sale price. And here's the model here. I was planning to get this model for my layouts, but not for some time. Also, I won't be working on village scenery for quite some time. But when I saw that the price had been reduced by so much, I thought I'd jump in and get a good deal. So in addition to the village hall, I touched on the ballasting. So I'm using the Wooden Scenics medium ballast grey blend, and the ballast spreader I'm using is this one here, made by Process. I don't know if I pronounced that right. And that's the product number there, BS-HO-01 with HO and 00 scale ballast spreader. And I have to say, that's a fantastic little tool there. Really simple to spread your ballast, and also creates, as I said, a lovely prototypical ballast shoulder. What I've also picked up as well is this wheels kit. This is a concrete trunking kit. I'm also interested in the 10 Commandments trunking kit, so I'm going to purchase some of that as well to see which one I like best. I may even use both in separate parts of the layout. And also, as I mentioned in my previous update, I want to start doing work on my platforms, hopefully between now and Christmas. So I've purchased these Pico platform edging, the concrete type, just so I can gauge the thickness of the plastic when I start to cut my NDF down to size for each platform. And so in last month's video I showed you the purchase of this, the Great Western Railway Hornby Class 43 HST pack, limited edition, in the glossy green finish. I'm pleased to say a recent arrival of the set of 5 Mark III coaches in the same glossy green livery has now arrived onto Pennyhill Junction. So we have the first class coach, a buffet car, two TSOs, and finally the trailer guard. There's been a lot of debate about this particular model. Some people are not too keen on the glossy finish, but I for one really like it. I think it really stands out on the layout. just think it looks really, really classy. So that's it for my update for this month. Another very productive month. Hopefully things will continue at this speed over the next month or two in towards Christmas. So I'll just leave you now with a few final running shots. And again, thanks for watching, and bye for now.